minutes, we're actually going to come up on a mission control call out. We're going to try to pipe that into y'all, but we don't know exactly when it's going to happen. So if we're in the middle of something, or saying something, and we need to go to mission control, just expect us to zip up and listen in on the go, no go poll that's coming up here shortly. So we're talking about these launches, and we had the main engine cut off, we had the SECO, but there was a SECO 1 and a SECO 2.
Right, so SECO 1 is the first time the engine shuts off on the second stage. And we've used almost all of our propellant at that point on the second stage, so it's really lightweight.
Right.
And then there is about 45 minutes usually of coast period, because we've done a...
Go. GNC. Go.
Let's go.
Prop. Go. Fluids. Go. Structures.
Go.
ABI.
Go.
FTS. Go. GC. Go. VC. Go. Payload.
Go.
PMM.
Go.
Elbow.
Go.
FISPO.
Go.
IFCO.
Go.
OSM.
Go.
Rock. Go. MA.
Go.
CE.
Go for terminal contact.
LD.
LD is go.
LDA.
LDA clear to launch.
We are go for launch.
Go for launch. Good morning.
That's what we wanted to hear.
That is what we wanted to hear.
That was just straight. That was smooth.
Yep, super smooth.
So
that's great news.
Firefly Aerospace.
Just straight down the pole. You saw we had a full board
CE
of
got in
greens
right as
there.
go, no
Flight
go.
4,
So I wanted
go
to
for launch. It looks like actually got some. I think that's actually back in
Nice.
Texas.
Not
That view
yet.
there.
Yeah, that was
Way.
Texas.
Everybody's cheering as I saw some hands in the air there.
Vandenberg
Still have some time. We're under 20 minutes now, folks, but you just heard the go no go poll, and looks like everything is currently green as we keep marching towards that T0 that's coming up here. Let's see here. What do we have? Is that like an exciting time? Like, is that like a, oh, it's really happening now?
Okay.
Yes, the time between saying go and then the rocket leaving the ground is 20 minutes, but it feels like 20 seconds.
It's 18 and a half minutes now, actually.
It's
Okay. Well, I'll just mute Wingus and Dingus for right now. I don't know why the hell. Oh, it was coming through the video. Okay, there we go. That should be better. That should be much, much better. Okay. So, Firefly Aerospace, it's a newer rocket company. They've had 3 launches prior. All 3 have ended in magnificent failure. September 2021 was their first test flight, and it failed shortly after lift off and exploded. The second try was on October of 22, and it was a partial success. They delivered 7 satellites to orbit, but they deployed them too low, and they re-entered. So that was a failure. And then Flight 3 mission for U.S. Space Force. They said it was successful, but it wasn't successful. Blah, blah, blah. So we'll see. Very. Yeah, he is. You feel how that rocket looks?
Safe. Today's launch is also important in another way.
We'll see what
The
this guy has
space
to say.
industry is one in which you cannot go it alone. We share a lot of similarities with early entrants like Firefly, and we are proud to work with them and other emerging providers because it takes a variety of innovations, capabilities, and people to ensure we are all successful. Together, we will ensure a resilient launch environment and assure access to space for all important missions. Thank you to the entire team supporting this Fly the Lightning launch. We're
What's
looking
up,
forward
dears?
to the ride.
I
Let's
missed you
go
last
for
night. I
launch.
saw you in Discord, but I was streaming. So, how's it going, buddy?
Folks, things are going to start happening really quickly here as
This
we
is the
are currently
calibration
16 minutes
sensor.
and 22 seconds away from the target T0. Now, what's going to happen
so a
is we've got
steerable
one
antenna.
more bit from Firefly, I think, to share some words right before the launch. And then we're going to hop right into that auto sequence and explain what's happening on the rocket. That's why we've got the rocket engineer with it. Rocket scientist, rocket engineer. Either way, let's listen into Firefly Aerospace real quick.
Hey guys, Bill Weber here, CEO of Firefly. We're just about to launch our Alpha rocket, so I'm going to keep this short. I want to give a quick shout out to our incredible team of Fireflies. As we continue through this countdown, I want all of you watching with us to understand what it took to get here today. Our team of Fireflies are the most hardworking and passionate people that you're going to find in this industry. It's their relentless dedication, innovation, and grit that got us to this very moment. And I want to thank them for their incredible commitment to making our customers successful. This Fly the Lightning mission for Lockheed Martin has served as yet another opportunity for our team to continue practicing and advancing our responsive space capabilities. Leading up to the mission, the team further rehearsed our standard launch operations.
Listen to this guy, and
We
then I'll
focused
talk
on
about the
improving
rocket.
efficiencies, cutting out unnecessary steps, and moving faster to ready payloads and our rocket for liftoff. Firefly's goal is to ultimately become the go-to responsive space provider for both government and commercial customers. In fact, along with Lockheed Martin, we have members from the Space Force's Tactically Responsive Space Team here with us today observing this mission. Together with our partners, we aim to transform rapid response into a repeatable capability, not only for launch, but for all of our missions across cislunar space. In other words, we're just getting started. Go Firefly, go fly the lightning.
All right. Full disclosure, I'm not a fan of Firefly Aerospace. And so a little bit about the rocket. So its performance is payload to LEO, or low Earth orbit, is about 1,000 kilos. So it's not as big as SpaceX, bigger than Rocket Labs. The overall length is 29.48 meters, or 96.7 feet. The payload fairing is 5 meters, or 16.4 feet. And the fairing diameter is 2.5 meters, or 7.2 feet. It uses traditional LOX RP1 engines, and it has a tap-off cycle turbopump propellant. So, stage 1 has 4 Reaver, REAVER engines that have 801 kilonewtons of thrust and a specific impulse of 295.6 seconds. The second stage has 1 Lightning engine with a thrust of 70.1 kilonewtons and a specific impulse of 322 seconds. So they're a composite rocket, so much like Rocket Labs, they're supposed to be a lighter and stronger rocket body, but that makes them incredibly expensive. What's up, waifu? So they started off as an independent company that I was really excited about. Then they got in bed with Lockheed and Boeing, and we know how I feel about that. So, to be fair, their first 3 missions were garbage. And they were running out of money and had to do something. So, they're a company out of Texas. Their headquarters is in Cedar Park, Texas. And yeah, I mean it's this is the Fly the Lightning mission. Blah blah blah. It is a ESA surface module. So it's a steerable antenna for ESA for the European Space Agency, made by Lockheed Martin. And the instrument will demonstrate faster on-orbit sensor calibration to deliver rapid capabilities to U.S. warfighters. So it's a defense contract mission. And also another thing, I'm a big fan of using peaceful process of rocketry, and not as much just relying on defense contractors and defense money. So we're coming up. Everything's looking good. We had a go, no go poll, and the go, no go was successful. So we're still go for launch, and we're just waiting for the countdown. As you can see, the strong back has retracted, or is about to retract. And again, I've only seen one of these launches live, so I don't know as much as I would about a SpaceX, full disclosure, or even a Rocket Labs or a NASA launch of any kind, Lockheed, ULA. Honestly, I didn't think they were going to survive, so I haven't put a lot of research or time. This is live. This is live from Vandenberg Space Force Base in Southern California, Vandenberg, California. So this is a live. We're watching it live. They have a tendency to explode, so it's part of the reason. And I'm all about new companies entering the space. I'm all about expanding the abilities of space flight, but I don't know. So they're not one of those companies that I'm super stoked about. It's basically a ULA retread. Unnecessary steps. Yes, many unnecessary steps. So it looks like we're looking at engine camera.
Erroneously put a cycle on something when we didn't need to, because if we're going to find a problem with something else that is, more critical, then we don't want to accidentally damage something.
Gotcha.
Just by using it.
So every time you send it up
And we'll listen
to
to
flight
Wingus and
pressures,
Dingus.
I guess, right?
So-
You use up one of those cycles.
Yeah, it's called a
Again,
lolly.
I don't know
lolly?
a ton
Yeah.
about this rocket.
We're putting a lolly on the tank. That's
Putting a
what
lolly
that's what
on the
it's called.
tank, all right? Burning one of the cycles that you have there, and you don't want to do that too many times. You want to make sure
I
everything
get
else
it
is
now.
good to go
So
before
this is
you
our
put a lolly on.
countdown
Yeah,
I don't
timer
know
on
how
the
to use that
bottom
as a
here.
verb.
That's how you do it. It's
So
before you put a lolly
you're
on
gonna
the
do
tank,
thrust
you
vector
don't want to do
control,
that. So
which
the
means
fuel
they'll
tank
gimbal
actually
the
has
engines,
it'll get pressed up
then
first.
strong
The
vector
LOX
to
tank doesn't
that,
get pressed
final
up
commit,
until
and then
T-minus 3
liftoff.
minutes. And part of that is that you can see where we're blowing that LOX out.
Yeah.
When we press that LOX tank up, you'll see this will pick up a lot. So you're going to be using more LOX through that bleed system, and you don't want to use too much LOX. So we wait until the very end.
Gotcha.
So
And then
it's
after
basically an
that, we're
engine
going
cool
to
down.
get into, after the fuel prepress, I guess, begins. It takes some time to do that, right? We might get into stage 2, I think, huh?
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to be able to see this. I don't think we have a camera in the vehicle on this feed. We actually do have a camera in the vehicle that
Right.
operators can see, and they're going to do the same thing as we did on the first
So they
stage, where we're
purge
going to look
LOX
at
through
the
the engines
engine and
to
see it move. It moves a lot
thermally
less in the second
cycle
stage,
it
the first stage
so
engine,
they
because it's
don't-
kind of
It's
you know,
in the
fire when
interstage.
they
the
reach
interstage, so
cold.
it doesn't have a lot of room.
So not
Uh,
visible from the outside of the rocket.
I
Yeah, but
know.
it'll do a little wiggle, and we'll just verify everything's.
Yeah, I'm trying to go back and forth. Like I said, I haven't seen this is only launched 4 times in its history. I've only seen one of them live, so I don't know a ton of their procedures and how they kind of do things. And like I said, they're a Lockheed Martin sub, so there's not a lot of information about there. Anyways, so I'm trying to kind of jump back and forth. So we have a map. Let me see if I can. Let's see if that helps.
Right at the Fly the Lightning
So
mission,
I turned them
actually.
way down
Fort
and I turned me way
Lockheed
up.
Martin. Where are we at now? T-minus 7-ish minutes, I think. Yeah, there we go. Just
T-minus
crossed under
6 minutes and
T-minus
54 seconds.
It actually says
So
stage
we're
2
into that
TVC
thrust
wiggles
vector
on the
control,
screen. Nice. I like
which
it.
is
Also coming up
gimbal the
here
rocket
in
engines to be able
40
to steer
seconds
the
or
rocket.
so,
So
transitioning to internal power.
Right.
want
So
things
all
to-
day today, we've
you want things to
kept
be able to
the
turn,
batteries
and you
at
do that
charge,
through
but we're not
hydraulic
actually
gimbling.
drawing
You
power
move the
from
engines
batteries
just
from
a
the
slight
vehicle.
bit.
So we're just
And
letting them
since you have
sit there,
multiple
they're
engines,
doing their own
you can
thing,
certainly
and we're feeding
direct
power
that
to the vehicle from
the
the
way
ground.
that you'd
And now
like.
we're now
So,
switching
Fly the
over.
Lightning, yeah.
We're switching over now to have the power draw from the vehicle and feed to directly.
So you're still like topping it off, but the
Yeah, we're
vehicle is
still-
providing
We're
the
still keeping
power.
it charged because we don't want to have to
Drain
design
the
a system
battery
that
and
is
carry more
having
batteries.
to carry an extra 6 minutes of power. But
Makes sense. So moving
So
to
it's not
internal
internal
power,
power, but
is an important part of the
still
step here that
umbilical.
should be coming up in just a few seconds. We're going to see some visual motion here. After that, we'll get the collar arms open.
Yeah, they at the top of the rocket on the strong back, you can see up.
There you go. That's the view.
So apparently in a couple minutes we'll see those color. There we go.
We
Color
keep them
arms
closed
open, and
normally.
the strong back
There you
will
go. Good
fit
timing.
back just a little bit.
And then the strong back will retract a little bit after that once we're sure that the collar arms have done what they're supposed to do.
They are definitely retracting. It's almost like this is a carefully choreographed ballet of rocket machinery.
Almost. Yeah. So that those pull away. The strong back's gonna retract. We don't do that early because the wind allowable on the rocket is much higher if you have that attached.
Ah, look at that. There it goes. And it's got a little slack in the umbilicals. They're umbilicals, right?
Those big umbilicals.
Those are umbilicals. We call them catenaries.
They're responsible for the computing. They're responsible for providing energy
under
to the
gravity,
ship.
and somehow that
Most of them will have some kind of fuel.
Well, they're
but
curving a little bit less under gravity.
The term would be umbilicals.
All right.
You can see that there's these it's getting
As you
away,
can
but
see,
it's
those
not
cables
actually
are still
nothing's
holding
tight
the
yet.
rocket
There
vertical.
is some
So even though the strong
maybe
back's not
elastic pieces
there,
there,
Just a little.
the rocket's not
but
going to move
to it.
much
anything that's
because
anything
there's
that's hard
still
has a
umbilical
groove to it
cables
because the
until
rocket is actually
ready to
what
be
pulls it off. The
retracted.
movement of the rocket will pull those QTs off.
So it's not something that pushes out or anything. Like the rocket starts to move and
Yeah,
it pulls those QTs out.
There's a wire
Quick
rope
as
that's
it-
going to
they
yank
pull
on
them
those
on the-
QTs, and it'll
Huh.
open a latch and things will fall off.
Gotcha. Folks, it's 4 minutes and 30 seconds now. We're still marching towards the T0. Haven't
your
seen any
flame
holes in the
trench?
counter or anything like that.
You gotta
We
have
got that
this for the flame
super
to go.
smooth
So
go,
there's
no-go
probably
poll.
some deluge
We
system
do
in
have
there,
one last go
which is
no-go poll that's coming up
enormous
here
amount of
around
water
T-minus
coming
2
down
minutes.
all
It may
at
happen a
once,
little early. It may happen a
and
little late.
that's your
So
flame
if we're
trench for
talking and we
the-
jump to that, we want to
for the
listen
flame
in
to
on that
exit.
final commit. But a lot of things still happening here. We saw the strongback retract. Look, this camera is even different now because the strongback has retracted. You can even see the ice on the side of it.
It's also you can see it's one side that you get ice on.
Yep.
Because it's the same temperature, but there's just more airflow going over the other side.
I wonder if that's a windward side or the leeward side.
It's the leeward side.
It's the leeward side where the wind is not blowing
Yep.
that freezes the ice. No kidding. And we're going to be getting into things like fuel bleed and that sort of stuff here. But now under 4 minutes
So the ice is
from
from
launch
the
as we watch all
cryogenic
sorts
liquid
of
oxygen
different
that's
views
entering the
of the
tanks.
rockets. We do expect to have some pad audio coming up here as well. And for the last probably 90 seconds or so, we're just going to let you all soak in the sounds of the pad and hopefully the ignition and liftoff here. 3.5 minutes. Still counting down. This is go time, isn't it, Miles?
Yeah. Yes. This is the nail biter.
How you doing? Can we put a heart rate monitor on you and like graph it
Honestly,
on the screen?
I'm climbing up the walls that I don't have plots in front of me.
Normally you have screens to look at, and here you
I can
don't have
see what
screens to
pressures
look
are.
at.
It's hard.
All right. Well, the count continues to happen as we begin to
T-minus
cross
3
over the
minutes.
T-minus 3 minute mark. Here again, this is Firefly's Flight 4. It is Fly the Lightning, a commercial mission for Lockheed Martin. About 1 minute away from that final commit to launch, where the launch conductor is going to ask for the go, no go. So we are definitely going to listen in on that. We got some clouds up there today. I see a little bit of blue, but hopefully we get some visibility of the rocket as it goes. Can it go through the clouds?
Oh yeah. There's a certain amount of thickness of clouds that you can't get through because of both ice buildup and
Salvage one?
tribo electrification.
I don't know what that
I was
is.
hoping we would get a chance to say that.
You'll charge the rocket up, which is bad for the avionics, but there's some amount of clouds you can get through, no trouble.
Good deal. So, folks, let's go ahead and do this. Let's listen in on the final commit. We'll do our best to be
final
quiet.
commit for launch, Chief Engineer.
Alpha is ready. Send it.
Launch Director.
LD's go for flight 4.
Rock. We are go for launch.
Folks, T-minus 2 minutes. That's what you wanted to hear. The final commit to launch. 3 goes from the chief engineer, the launch director, and the range operations
We have go for launch.
coordinator.
So everything's
Quick
still looking
reminder
good.
for folks
Working towards
watching, we
that,
do expect that we'll have
T0 time.
on-board video,
Digger.
hopefully, but we will be intentionally
Griffith
cutting that
launched
feed
rockets
after
and
SECO
salvaged
1
them.
at the request of the customer. We're coming up on 90 seconds, a minute and a half for
So there won't be
Firefly's
anything
Flight
after
4.
first
You know
stage
something?
at the
I
request
think we're
of the
gonna
customer because
listen into the
customer's
pad and the
defense
command net,
contractor.
and we'll just say, go Alpha Flight 4, fly the Lightning.
So we're just waiting on that 1 minute and 20-second mark, and we'll get a little bit of flight. But since for defense contractor, they will not continue the video to the entire flight based on the request of the customer.
60 seconds.
T-minus 1 minute. Again, this is a Texas aerospace company called Firefly. They've had 3 previous flights that have all failed. This is flight number 4 after a long hiatus to rework the engineering on the vehicle. In that time, they were pretty much absorbed by
Mounting
Lockheed
arms.
Martin for the most part.
30
So they're a
seconds.
subsidiary of
One vehicle
ULA
has transitioned to autonomous
for all
mode.
intents and purposes. And they are taking a European Space Agency defense satellite up
20
today.
seconds.
Stage 1 TVC motion looks nominal.
2 minutes, 15 seconds. Go Firefly.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I see the clouds.
Vehicle supersonic.
Equals supersonic now.
It did sound pretty good.
Q.
Now supersonic, punch through max Q. Their tracking cam is terrible.
So we're past max Q now as well.
Past max Q. It still looks nominal. What's up, Bri? Brian, this is Firefly Aerospace with the Ride the Lightning. This is their 4th flight. The first 3 failed.
See the plumes start to expand there.
So they're reaching upper level atmosphere because you're starting to see expansion of the gases. So it still looks like everything's nominal. We'll see stage separation.
That's the lightning engine, isn't it there?
Yep.
Their uplink feeds are not very good either, but that's secondary.
That's Miko.
Eco.
All right, we have an engine cutoff.
Stage separation.
Good stage
Look at
set.
that.
Stage
And-
2 motion. Power looks nominal.
Nice. You actually see the booster there. The second stage continuing on.
Yeah, we should see the fairings in just a second here.
So apparently the second stage vacuum optimized lightning engine
Bada boom.
was successful.
That was
Separation.
the
I didn't see it light up.
payload for separation.
Separation.
Just let them say it. Look at that view.
Well, when they failed, Lockheed Martin invested a shit ton, and they became pretty much an extension of Lockheed, allegedly, unofficially.
Now this is a longer burn now, right?
Yeah, much longer.
It doesn't. That engine is.
Like the Firefly logo there. Must be one of the long-range trackers getting it through the clouds on occasion. It's easier to see through the clouds from up here.
Yeah,
It's either a thick engine or didn't fire
And
completely.
we're going to
'cause I
start
don't
seeing.
see.
You can see a little bit that second stage engine nozzle extension is going to start glowing, which is normal.
Okay.
It's radiatively cooled because there's nothing around, right? It's vacuum.
Because
So
of black body radiation coming off, it started
so
glow
you-
red.
and so you have to deliberately make sure that nozzle extension has high emissivity, so it'll cool itself naturally.
It'll radiate off a lot of that
Right.
energy.
Mhm.
That looks extensively thick, though. That engine. I mean, it's. Okay. What's up, Froggy?
T plus 5
Let's
minutes.
go
Everything's
aboard.
down.
Sun in the
Right.
background there.
For this space craft, it is low Earth orbit, and it only takes about 1,000 pounds or 1,000 kilos to Leo. So I don't like that engine. I can't see telemetry, so I don't know. I don't know if it's good or bad, but this is where they had problems with their last failures. Is this second stage? And again, I'm not looking at data. I'm just looking at imaging. If I had telemetry, I could make a better informed guess, but
T plus 6 minutes.
my problem is with the engine that is heating up so slow, so lose heat so slow. Exactly. It looks thick. It looks really thick. And
Those
if
onboard
you're,
cameras keep sending us pixels. We'll take them.
I think we should have it.
if you're heating
all
it
the
to
way
a
through
point
to see.
where
It's pretty westward, so
it takes that long to heat up,
And a quick
then-
reminder
then
here,
you're gonna
folks.
have
At
serious
Seco
issues
1, we
if you
do
get to a point
intentionally
where that's over
plan
that
to
heat.
cut the feeds from the vehicle at the request of the customer. We'll still be here with updates for you.
Because if it begins to overheat, there's no way to continue to dissipate. You would have to shut it down, which would be a payload failure.
T plus 7 minutes.
They seem convinced that everything's still nominal, though. I just, I mean, what? We're 3 minutes into flight and still haven't seen the bell warm up. It's space.
See a little piece of ice on occasion we go past.
not all of it melts off. There's always a little bit
Yeah,
that hangs out.
stuck in little nooks and crannies. And
If you watch the last video as well, same thing happened.
copy.
Getting to the point of heat again, I think the point of heat gain and loss equilibrium is the goal, I think. Yeah. I wonder if it's a shelled engine. No, I'm going to look into it. I mean, they're cutting off the engine now, so.
Nominal transfer orbit achieved.
There you have
Okay.
it.
Nominal orbit. So it was successful.
We got a transfer orbit achieved. It sounded like the call out there was.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Pretty happy about that.
That's pretty good, he says. Folks, you saw it. Flight 4 flew the lightning. I guess we say flew the lightning.
Flew the lightning.
We had liftoff from Vandenberg. Here's back at Texas. I think that second camera we have there, some clapping going on.
Expected LOS.
But
at
let's talk about what's
in 10
next.
seconds.
Be quiet every time I hear Mission Control.
All right. Well, I mean, good on you, Firefly. Like I said, anytime that we can get a new vehicle into space, I'm excited about it. Not going to be one of my favorites. Not going to be somebody that I'm overly excited about hanging out and watching, but it didn't seem like it. It didn't seem like it was good. It seemed like something was not right, but it was good orbital insertion, so good for them, and hopefully it's successful. So that's gonna be it for me. I'm gonna pop back over to Hey and finish with this celebration. But thanks for stopping by, y'all, and yeah, it looked like if anything, it was damn close, like really close, really close. So, but good on them. Good job, guys. But that's gonna be it for me. Going back over to Hayden. Hope y'all have a good day. And actually, before I leave, there are more lunches coming up tonight. SpaceX has a couple. Let me check on the status of those while we might have you. SpaceX is targeting December 30th, so they moved back the Vandenberg one yet again. So looks like SpaceX has bumped all their missions once again. So I wonder what's going on there. And USSF 52 is still December 28th. So looks like that's probably going to be it for today, launch-wise. But keep your eyes out. If there is another one, I'll be here. So I don't know. I'll talk to you later about it. But until then, I hope everybody has an awesome day, and I will catch you again very soon. Take care, everybody.